The Bible teaches that the Christian must offer himself or herself as a living sacrifice to God. Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2 says, "Therefore I urge you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living and holy sacrifice, acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect." From this passage, it is clear that the Christian is to give him or herself completely for the service of God, because the Christian has experienced God's mercy. God is pleased if we offer a living and holy sacrifice. But what does it mean to be a living sacrifice? In short, it means to avoid worldly contamination wherein we conform to this world, and rather be transformed by the renewal of our minds, wherein we take on the mind of Christ. Welcome to Presentation, Ponder, Practice. When studying the Bible, context is extremely important. The Apostle Paul, who wrote what we read from Romans 12, verses 1 and 2, follows it with some straightforward instruction that describes the living sacrifice. To offer ourselves as a living sacrifice, we have to develop the proper attitude toward self. Romans 12, verses 3 through 8. We are told not to think more highly of ourselves than we ought to think, but to think so as to be or have sound judgment. We are to use the gifts that God has given us alongside others who are using their gifts, which produces the service expected of us by the Lord. Every Christian, then, is a part of Christ's body, meaning that we need to work and we need to work together in accomplishing God's mission. To offer ourselves as a living sacrifice, we have to develop the proper attitude toward brethren in the church and toward those not in the church. Romans 12, verses 9 through 21. Proper behavior consists of genuine love, hatred for evil, brotherly love, diligence, rejoicing in hope, patience in tribulation, continual prayer, support of brethren in need, hospitality, a forgiving spirit, humility, and the ability to empathize, and the competence to make peace, and the willingness to leave vengeance to the Lord God. Development of these characteristics often demand great sacrifice. To offer ourselves as a living sacrifice, we have to develop the proper attitude toward the governing authorities of men. Romans 13, verses 1 through 7. Listen to verse 1. Every person is to be in subjection to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those which exist are established by God. Rulers and governments of men are authorized by the Lord to punish evil and promote good. So, as a living sacrifice to God, we are told to submit to them. We submit to God by obeying the rules of authorities, paying taxes, rendering customs, giving honor to their positions, and fearing punishment that should come for disobedience. Obedience to these instructions sometimes demand great sacrifice. As Christians, we have given ourselves to God and committed to live for Christ, so we are to be used to serve Him. Be a living sacrifice, acceptable to God, and may God bless you.